What is happening? Ladies and gentlemen, my name's James, and this is Business Diaries, real startup stories. Today is episode 3. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're joined by another guest today, and this is a very interesting one. I want to start this by saying I am the least political person going. In fact, when it comes to voting, I just message my big sister and ask her like what will affect me like personally. So bear with me on this one. He's a hell of a lot more educational on these, but I will try and ask the right questions. I'm sure he's going to educate me through it. But if we're here to talk about startups, this man has got a story because he's very new to it. It's still fresh. And he's grown this at an exponential rate. He's doing an incredible job reporting the things going on around the UK and in the government. And he talks about the things, but he's not a journalist. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Thomas Pearson.
Hey, you need to put one of those the clapping noise.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting.
How are you? Okay.
I'm alive.
Right.
I made it out of Downing Street alive. They didn't whack me.
That is a story I'm sure we're going to get.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Before we do get on to that,
Of course.
what is it that you do?
Sure.
And what is your mission?
Ooh, big question. So I make socio-political content or socio-political commentaries, how I like to dull it down into one thing, essentially just whatever comes across like my news feed. I'm thinking that other people should know about, I like to talk about, spread it out there, and also, just sort of give people an idea of what the hell is actually going on in the country and in the world. But I do so much more than that as well. But my mission is just to make sure people are informed. I wasn't happy with what I was seeing coming across my feed all the time, and I just wanted to make sure that other people sort of who may not be happy with what they were seeing, and they might not be happy with what I'm putting out there, but they can do their own thing. But I wasn't happy with what I was seeing, and I wanted to sort of do my own stuff to correct that and make a better, more informative world.
You're doing an incredible job because, like I said, I am the least political. I have no idea what's going on outside of my circle.
Yeah,
I'm like so in my own lane. I forget there's other lanes going on around me. But your content genuinely just like keeps me a little bit updated of like what's going on. And
I appreciate that.
You're doing an amazing job.
I just want to add that I am I'm not that much political myself. Wasn't for years, so this is
It's still new to you as well.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit, yeah.
But you have your stances and where you stand.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I try to stay as unbiased as possible.
Yeah.
But I do have my stances, and I don't tolerate intolerance. Really, I think would be the best word. Like, I don't tolerate dickheads.
Love it. So, when was it that you started the channel?
Sure.
Or when did you start just content? Let's go into that.
So,
and then the transition.
The best way to... So, I've been at content since I was 13. I'm 27 now. My first video was a Minecraft video when I was 13.
Is that on like YouTube or something?
Oh, yeah. It was awful. Like, no mic. It was on my dad's laptop from 1998 or 2003. Like, the frame rate was 3 frames per second. I was using an editing thing called EasyVid, which was riddled with malware and definitely ended up with a bunch of viruses on my dad's laptop. And then just over the years, I've done all sorts of stuff over the years. But what I'm doing now, I've had my TikTok account for 5 years. I started making TikToks in 2020, and they just... it was just a bunch of shite. And then I was at work last year and I was ranting about something about the government. I can't remember specifically what it was. And my coworker was like, you've been struggling. You've been complaining about struggling with making content stuff for a while. Why don't you make a video talking about that? And I went, sure, I'll do that. And then that thing went boing, and I went, I'll make another one. And I'll make another one. And I just kept going. And then I sort of was like, oh, people like what I'm saying. People like how I'm presenting it. People like this, and I like making it because it's something new every single day, and that's sort of where we're at now. But I've been at this for a long time. I used to edit for YouTubers from 2018 through 2022, so I've sort of had the inside idea of what's been going on for a long time. Just never made it on my own as doing my own stuff until now.
So it's safe to say that you've been in content for a long time.
Yeah.
You've kind of like bounced around and done a few different things. And then it's just this one that's kind of landed.
Yeah, definitely. It's been it's not that I've always wanted to be a content creator per se. It's just, now it's something that I think there's a big difference between, you can tell when people are just kind of sort of throwing shit at the wall and hoping it'll stick, and then people are actually interested in doing something, and this is something I'm actually interested in, as opposed to before I was just kind of like surrounded by people who did it and were saying, hey, you have a good voice, and you know how to edit things, and you know how to film things, you should make stuff. But I just didn't know what it was I wanted to make until now, where I'm like, well, I like talking to I like talking about this specifically. I like talking about digital rights, online privacy, people who piss me off, that kind of thing, and now there's an outlet for it and an audience who also want to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So between your TikTok and your Instagram, that has blown up,
Yeah.
quite at a rapid rate.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're probably at like 500,000 followers between the two, or like just shy off.
I think it's TikTok's, as of right now, is 245,000. I mean, a year ago that was at just under 30,000. But TikTok, you can just sort of gain followers off of anything. Instagram, I was at so last March I was at 3,300 followers. Now I think that's 180,000, something like that, and most of that was within the space of 3 months. So is
it quite daunting for it to?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I tell you what's really daunting is when I was like, oh, because you see it going up, and then you go, you don't really feel like it's real.
Yeah.
Until it is, until suddenly you're sat in the Spoons that's not far from us, and this guy comes up and goes, has anyone ever told you that you look like you make videos online? And I was like, oh, what do you mean? He goes, oh, there's just this guy, and you just kind of look like him. And I was like, no, mate, no, I don't. And
oh, really? You didn't?
No, I didn't. No, I was like, no, mate, not in there.
Do you own it now? If somebody was to
oh
approach
yeah, 100%, and that was maybe 5 months ago when it was sort of just peaking past the 100K mark, and now I'm like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Yeah, talk about it.
You're on the wave.
Yeah,
you're on the wave now.
And then YouTube, I think also YouTube's in the 30K mark, I think now. So yeah, we're approaching the 400K to 500K mark across everything.
That is incredible. How do you find, is YouTube the same as the shorts that you post on your social medias? Do you also make YouTube videos, like longer form?
Yeah. So the plan at the minute is to broach more into the longer form, just because like short form's great. I love short form, but there's no longevity to it. What gets put up in short form, no one goes, oh, did you see that short from 3 months ago? People just forget about it. It's just short form, short-minded, short term.
You almost go through so many, don't you? And like scrolling, listen to that. Oh, that was really interesting for 2 minutes, and then literally the next one, and then it's a dog falling down something. Yeah, like stupid.
But like you go on YouTube and you're picking out the videos you want. You see a thumbnail, or you see a title, or you see maybe a length. You're like, oh, this is under 10 minutes with an interesting title and an interesting thumbnail or topic, and you pick that, and then you go, oh, well, this creator's really good. I really like this. And then they might make a generational YouTube video, and you'd be like, oh, did you see that video about this topic? And people would be like, yeah, I did, or we haven't, or you'd send that to them. Whereas, I don't think you'd have that with short form, and I want to do more of that. I want to be like, oh, some of this investigative journalism that I'm doing, someone will then send that video and go, have you seen this? Have you actually seen, like, no one's talking about this, click, and then it blows up. So yeah, the longer form is the current thing I'm moving into, but it's difficult because people have longer attention spans, so you need better editing. You've got to have sort of more engaging visuals, in my opinion. Every 5 to 10 seconds. People are a lot harsher with you on YouTube. If they don't like it, they'll comment and they will tell you. And they'll be like, this is terrible, your audio's terrible, your video sucks. They're really harsh with it. And I think getting an audience on YouTube is a lot harder because of that, because people demand a lot more from you. Whereas a lot of people on shorts are just there to click a video, watch a video, click, scroll on. And they're not there as an audience for it.
Although you say it's harder to build, do you think that the building that does happen on YouTube is almost like better than in your short forms? Like you're almost like forming not a cult. It's
A community. I think community is probably the
right word. Yeah. Whereas like short form's just like, oh, I'll follow this because I want this like more of his videos to pop up. But you're never really like that engaged.
Yeah,
You're
definitely.
engaged, but like you're not fully there. Do you know what I mean?
There's definitely people on my short form now that whose names when they're commenting, I'm like, oh, I recognise this, but this person's obviously been here and is watching this over and over now and sort of clearly is following. Some people will hate watch and they will follow you or not follow you, but they will search your name and be like, oh, you're still going on about this, and I'm like, if you don't like it, just don't watch.
Yeah.
But I always think short form is the anti-community. Sure, there are some people following, but by and large, most people are just getting that on their For You page, watching once and then scrolling on. Whereas, YouTube, they've got notifications on, most likely. YouTube's more likely to push it into their feed if they're engaging with it. And people generally are more likely to like and comment and sort of go, hey, you could do this better. And then I will probably take that on board more, as opposed to a few thousand people who are coming from the sort of regular feed and going, don't like this, or just say some weird and wacky thing at the comment that they'll never comment again because they'll never see one of my videos ever again.
Yeah.
So I do think it's harder, but I think it's more I can't think of the word. Beneficial in the long run to build a YouTube audience.
Yeah, well, this is all going to be new to me because this is obviously episode 3. None of these have actually come out. I've never been on YouTube. I've like posted little bits on TikTok here and there, but again, kind of just like bounce around between things and never really like found a niche or whatever. I'm hoping this is it.
I hope so as well.
Let's hope so, because this could be something
big investment.
good.
If not,
I know, yeah, but interestingly, so between TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, you also post YouTube. Is it shorts or reels?
Yeah, shorts. Yeah.
Which those do you think? How do they differ? Which do you think performs the best? Which do you sort of like lean more to? I know you probably posted like 3.
Yeah.
Do you change them as
you? Little bit on the so I'll talk about length first. So TikTok, you can I think you can have up to an hour of content on TikTok now. I think you can upload a video that's at least an hour long. Only because I saw like the first Pokemon movie pop up on my feed, and I was like, "There's no way this fits in," and it did, and I watched the whole thing. I was I'm thinking this guy's making so much money off of my content here, my view. So you can, TikTok. I generally try to make videos that fit into a 3-minute or under mark because most people get bored after 3 minutes. And I don't do a lot of editing within the videos. I tend to just be a couple of graphics, talking head, subtitles, bang, gone. But TikTok I do lean towards more because it's the only platform that I make money off of.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So YouTube isn't currently monetized and Instagram just isn't. You just don't make any money off Instagram. It's just not they don't give you anything for it
at all.
No, it's not a thing at all. It never has been.
Post on, or have you ever thought of posting on Facebook?
Yes, and so I've got a Facebook page, and they are going up. They are cross-posting, but the way that Facebook monetization seems to work is unless you are specifically catering the content for Facebook, it just doesn't really seem to pop off. Because I have people saying in the comments going, "Oh, why don't you post this to Facebook? This would go crazy." And I'm like, I have, and I've re-edited it 3 times. It's just not doing anything. But Facebook does reward you, where it'll be like, "Hey, if you post every day for this month, we'll give you $200."
Sort of like.
So I am getting some money from Facebook, but it's not coming from the videos. It's just Meta rewarding me for posting every day, even though all I'm doing is just uploading it to Instagram and then it auto cross-posts.
Yeah. It's quite a nice feature, really.
No, I'm not complaining. Like I had the other day, I was like, why have I got $53 on PayPal from Meta? And I couldn't for the life of me figure it out. I was like, and then I looked and I went to the professional dashboard. Also, I hate Meta professional dashboard, by the way. Like Facebook's thing.
Yeah, I've had some run-ins with it.
I saw your story the other day. Yeah, about
I've only
not being able to get in.
Yeah, so this has been going on for context, our Cluck and Chuck page. We got locked out of it because we went verified on Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
Like paid for the blue tick.
Yep.
And then it made, because I was a controller of it, it made my Facebook need like a 2-step authentication.
Yep.
But my Facebook, was like an old one to an old number and an old email address. So then I couldn't get through that.
access it. Right.
And then as I was like trying and playing, my Facebook got locked out, and then we've nearly lost the Cluck page. And I've just been like, this has been going on from probably since like October.
Damn.
So like, and I just kind of, I'll spend like an afternoon doing it, and I'm putting my hair out, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave that for.
Yeah.
And then
Another
a few weeks
day.
later, I come back, and then I post on TikTok. I'm like, please help me.
somebody
Like,
help me.
yeah, genuinely. But today,
Yeah.
shout out to Sean Nunn, absolute legend. He's managed to go into my Facebook on the back end and somehow. So I'm still locked out of that original Facebook. I've got hold of like Meta support, spoke to Meta, and they're just like, no, sorry.
Yeah, they're all
They're really bad.
terrible. Yeah.
So I've had to make a new Facebook, and we were nearly going to have to make a new page and lose like 11k followers, which we didn't want to do, but it's kind of just that was the plan that we were going to have to do. Yeah, I know. But he's managed to go in, and I've managed to like gain access to the old one through my new Facebook. So fingers
crossed we're fixed.
Fixed. But so like when it's I think when it's good. Like with the whole like cross sharing and stuff.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But I just can't figure. So I mean, just an example of how Meta that dashboard sucks is. So when I was working at the bar that is not far from here, will remain nameless. But they wanted us all to be social media managers. So they logged us all into Instagram, all onto Facebook, and onto TikTok. TikTok and Instagram could log out, never got any problems ever again. Every day on Facebook, I get notifications saying, so-and-so bar, someone wants to send you a message. I can't be logged out of Facebook. But because the original main owner of like the whole head of socials for the whole brewery company is now no longer with the company, I can't even contact her to be like, please let me out of this hell. So sometimes I'll be like, I really want to respond on behalf of like the thing, and then people are like, why is this person responding? And it's like, let me out. Yeah. And I've sent emails to the brewery, and I've been like, hey, can you like get me out of this?
Do you still have access to all of their like messages and stuff?
Yes.
And
Messenger, and like it connects me to everything. Like I could post some crazy shit on there.
Promo for the podcast.
I could post some crazy stuff on there, and they'd probably be like, well, who did that between the people working down there? And they'd be like, well, it wouldn't be us. Maybe then they'd figure out that they can remove me as an admin.
They probably would though, wouldn't they?
That's probably the only way they'd figure it out. In fact, if anything, they probably like the engagement. So, but Meta sucks because I have to request someone within that to remove me. But I don't think anyone on that is an admin. So I don't think they can remove me. I think we're all just stuck in purgatory.
Yeah, it all just gets really choppy, doesn't it?
I'm just stuck. So Meta, please fix your shit.
There was also a thing, I can't remember how this has come about, but Chef that was outside just then, he's like managed to link my Facebook and his Facebook through the Cluck and Chuck Instagram.
Yeah.
So there was one day, I think I was sat at home, and I think I like reshared one of my girlfriend's like hair videos or something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like her mum put like a laughing face to it, and I was like,
"How can
that's a weird thing to laugh at?" And I've gone on it. He's on a stag do up in Bristol, posting like all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all getting shared to like my stories and my, and I'm just, and then it took me a while to finally piece it together. I was like, how has this happened? But now we're just like intertwined with our things. So like
you are just
can log into
you
mine,
become one.
just become one. And I'm now scared. Now that I'm back into our Facebook page, I'm now scared to like try and mess around with the settings, get him off of my Facebook, get out of his Facebook or Instagram,
and never get back anything,
and then never get anything back. So I'm like,
let's just leave it.
We'll just leave it. Yeah.
Neither of you post anything dodgy, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. I was like, please just don't stitch me up.
Yeah. Facebook. I haven't yet been able to crack it, but I'm happy from the free money from Meta that are giving me for posting anyway. Instagram, you can post up like anything you want lengthwise. I think it might be up to 15 minutes. I could be wrong. But they will only promote reels that are under 3 minutes. They will specifically promote reels that are under a minute and a half. So sometimes I might just cut some bits out of the videos and be like, then it comes under 3 minutes and I know it'll do better. But I don't really care about the views that much. So sometimes I just like click post, click post, click post. Oh my God.
Easy, yeah.
YouTube Shorts is definitely the harder one because they only allowed 3 hashtags. Instagram and TikTok, you can put a caption, I think, up to 5,000 characters.
Okay.
I
It's just recently brought it down to 5 hashtags, though, have they not?
on what?
On TikTok and Instagram.
I
You
can
can
I can put any the hashtags got. I do it off desktop. I never do it off my phone. So
I thought this was an update recently, but I can only if I try and do any 5, it will like notify.
do you do it
me.
off your phone?
Yeah.
I've never done it off my phone. I've always done it off my laptop. I've always done it off desktop. Because
Do you scroll through TikTok on your desktop?
No, there's a thing called it's like studio.tiktok.com.
Oh,
and
okay.
you log and you can see all the analytics and figure state.
Got you.
And also, I don't have to get bidding notification every 3 seconds, so I can just go on the comments, respond to the ones I want, and then go and do my business. But YouTube's weird because I've got to put kind of clickbaity titles because they only allow, I think it's 200 characters on the titles, which is not a lot.
No.
So I've got to do a pretty click. I hate doing clickbait as well. So whereas something on TikTok will be like, the UK government has introduced this, and this may have the ramifications of this, and 100 hashtags, which I don't really do, but 100 hashtags. I have to on then YouTube be like, the UK government's spying on you, and then people in the comments will be like, but that's not what the video says at all. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, either I lie and you don't click,
Yeah.
or I don't lie and you don't click anyway. Like, so
It's like a lose-lose.
yeah, so it's a lose-lose. So which I hate, but that's the game.
That's the game.
Yeah, that is the game, and that's really the big difference between those three. Instagram, I don't really care that much about Instagram. I just kind of do it to keep up appearances. And also, I think with followers on Instagram, generally, people respect you more with followers on Instagram. Like, I think, like, I've always found
Is it like Jesus Christ? Is it like a social status?
definitely,
kind of thing?
definitely.
Oh, okay.
I think I definitely think that
Like 180k holds more weight than 250k on
100%,
TikTok.
100%. Because I think people still see TikTok as like
Kids dancing.
kids dancing. Yeah, I think that's where people still see it. So I don't really, when people are like, oh, what socials do you want? I go, oh, here's my Instagram. But then I also have my private Instagram. So I'll just give people that now instead. I'm like, if I'm out and about and it's like, oh, this is my friend Thomas. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I do online video stuff.
Is that how you describe?
Yeah, I really don't advertise it at all. I try to, it's just awkward because then people are like, oh, what do you do? Oh yeah, I complain about the government. I'm politics, yeah, and then people hate politics and social situations, and I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, do they either like then go, oh, well, like, what do you think, and like either argue with it, or they go,
pretty much the second one every single time. So I'll just be like, oh yeah, I work in online video, which is not a lie, and that's what I've done for most of my career anyway. And oh yeah, sometimes I upload my own stuff, but I really don't advertise it at all. Just because I just don't want to talk about it. Like, I want to go out and meet people, and I want to have fun. I don't want to go out and then get stuck into it. So what do you think about Nigel Farage? Well, I'm here for my mate's birthday. I'm not really here to like get into what I think's wrong with the country, which I think also makes, I guess you could argue this is now my career, which I hate, but it also makes that difficult because a lot of people look down on it. A lot of people,
in what aspect?
well, I think a lot of people think, a lot of people use the word influencer. I wouldn't use influencer. I don't think I'm influencing anybody. I think I'm just informing people. And then if people want to be influenced by that, they can be, but I wouldn't put that out there in the world. But, people think of, oh, if you're uploading stuff online and you have a bunch of followers, therefore you're an influencer. And a lot of people liken that to people like Molly May, and the Love Island guys and sort of people surrounding that. And there's a big negative stereotype around that. So I think people just go, oh, he's one of those. He's annoying. He's just trying to make a bunch of money by doing fucking nothing. And so I generally try to avoid it in the conversation.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Difficult.
So I'm also interested. Obviously,
yeah, of course.
We've gone across how many sort of like followers and stuff you have
yeah,
across them. You said about all your analytics and stuff.
Yeah.
What are your like What are these numbers that we're talking? Because I sometimes get really buzzed on our Instagram page, or I have the professional dashboard up, and it will say, "Oh, in the last 30 days, you've had X amount of people view your profile or like reach."
Well, we're now talking probably in the tens of millions.
Tens of millions.
It's bad. Yeah, a really good example of how this sort of evolved was I was at the pub with my mate, and and this was after the first video had got, my highest viewed video is 8.8 million views on TikTok, and that also has 3 million views on Instagram, and it also has a fuck ton on YouTube Shorts as well. That one video went mad. Couldn't tell you what the total of that is, but I remember that did, so it did total 8 million, and then my mate was like, "Oh, you're really humble, but you bang millions of views," and I was like, don't really like that when you put it in that perspective. And then he was like, "It's all right, soon it'll be tens of millions." And I was like, "Nah." And then I looked at my December recap for Instagram, like it gives the recap, and it was 18.8 million views in just December.
Oh, in just December?
On Instagram, just Instagram. And I sort of went, "That's a lot of people. It's a lot of people." TikTok, I mean, I think every TikTok more or less does like 50,000 to 100,000 views now, which is in and around about 100 to about 200 quid per video.
Amazing. Yeah. I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, no, I'm very open about the monetization side of stuff. So, but yeah, the views are now pretty much per month hitting the 11 to 12 million views across platforms per month.
That's quite scary.
Yeah, but I try not to think about it. That's like if I don't think about it, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Like, exactly.
Yeah, it's like out of mind.
Yeah, Schrodinger's views.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is, but then I sort of, I just like 180,000 people. Like if you think about Instagram, 180,000 people is a lot of people. The O2 capacity is 20,000 people, so that's so it's 6 times that. So my follow account could fill 6 O2s, and that, when someone pointed that out, was like, I was like, "Ooh, don't really." That makes me feel really uncomfortable. So
you ever? Yeah. Sorry, I've got.
No, you're fine. No, go for it. No, it's fine. Yeah.
So, so many followers.
Yeah.
Do you get like? Obviously, you're a local boy around.
Yeah.
So you probably like have familiar faces and stuff, but you've just like recently been up to London for like a couple of days. Do you get like recognised or anything, or don't get recognised?
No.
Do you ever get hate for what you do?
Loads.
Like in person hate. I'm sure you get like, loads of keyboard warriors and like.
Yeah, I had one guy. I went to a party in Manchester, and this one guy and someone who knew me through another person was like, "I don't understand why you do this. I don't understand why you do what you do. Like you're just putting your most unpopular opinions out in the world, and no one agrees with you, and all of that." I was like, "Well, first of all, actually, people do agree with me." But so, successful rage bait, I guess. Thanks. But it was like, second of all, I was like, if you don't like it, don't watch. Like, when I see content that I don't like, I just move on, because I just unless it's something that I think is negatively affecting other people, then I might engage with it. But generally, I'm like, I don't agree with what that person says. I'm just going to move on, because I don't have time to negatively engage with people's.
You can even just like
bullshit.
dot, I don't like this or something.
Yeah.
Like on TikTok, you can go like dot, I don't like this, and then like your content stops coming up in like people's newsfeed.
No, well, I don't know. I think they purposely push negative content on TikTok, because all the time I'm like, please don't show me this, please don't show me this, please, and just more and more comes up. And
really?
Yeah. But I don't know if they just do that to me because they're like, he might engage.
You make a video about this.
No, would never. There's been a couple of people who've gone, don't really like what you're doing, don't really understand why you're doing it, don't know why you continue doing it, to my face. But they're generally people who I know through other people. I've never had a random person come up to me and go,
"You're that
stop
guy."
it. But even around here, I don't really get like. There's not really, like, I don't know a lot of people in Sinostal.
Okay.
Like I know people, but they're my circle, and I don't really tend to venture outside of it. Like I think I said to you, either off this or whatever. Like I was in Spoons, and and this guy came up and he went, "You look like a guy who does videos on the internet," and I went. He said on the net. That was the big thing, on the net. I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And I'm just sat there with Pint Rattler. I'm just, "Oh, what do you mean?" And he goes, "Oh, it's just this guy who like talks about stuff, and you look like him." I was like, "Not me, mate. Just not me. I just would never." But especially round here, I just wouldn't. Especially in the Spoons, like Sinostal Spoons. I don't want to, because I don't know what the energy of the people are like after they've had a couple of pints in there are like. So if he was to be like, "Oh, you look like you make political videos," I don't know if that's a friendly thing or not. Hence why I don't really want to engage with that. But no, I've had no hate in person.
That's good.
Particularly.
That's
Yet.
really good.
Yet.
Keep growing the way you're growing.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
At some point, it's going to happen. Yeah, I know that. And
I'm sure you are, well, from the amount of hate that you get in the comments and stuff, you are aggravating people with things that you say and stances you have and views. So I'm sure you'll run into them at some point. But then you'll probably, this is probably a very good point. You've probably run into them before.
Maybe.
Cross paths with them, but they will not say anything to you.
Probably.
They will go home and they will comment on like 5 of your videos.
Oh, 100%. But I think, even if someone did come up to me and say, I don't like what you're doing, or was just going off on me, I wouldn't have a problem with it because they're entitled to their own opinion, and I don't have a problem with that. It's just, but then they seem to they on the opposite side, it seems to be those kind of people who have a problem with me having my own opinion, but aren't happy when I say, well, you're welcome to your own opinion. I don't have a problem with that. I'd probably just try and diffuse it because I'm not a very confrontational person.
Yeah.
So I'd just be like, nice to meet you. Happy to hear your feedback. Sorry you don't like it. Don't know if there's anything I could do that would change your mind. Probably not. But nice to have the chat. Bye.
Just exit.
Yeah, exactly. Just try and exit the conversation as quickly as possible. But I'm always happy to talk to people if they want to have a, in good faith, engaging conversation. Don't mind.
Like a debate is...
Oh, have no problem with it whatsoever. Like I was after a few pints last Friday, one of my ex-co-workers was getting into it with me. I was like, do you really want to do this right now? And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay. And we really kind of got into it. And at the end of it, I was like, I actually don't have your number. Let's get a pint when you're back down. And it healthfully ended. Didn't like what he was saying. He didn't like what I was saying. But at the end of it, there's nothing I can do to change his mind. And I know that. And he knows there's nothing he can do that will change my mind, especially with what he was saying. But I think sometimes you just got to pick your battles and say, well, I'm not going to win this one. You're welcome to your opinion. And that's that.
Absolutely. I've seen a small snippet of what your schedule looks like. And it's pretty busy. So I'm curious as to how many pieces of content are you creating, say a day or per week? I don't know how you want to put this down. And just what does the workflow look around it? Because I think this is something you've pushed in one of your videos of it's not just I sit here, I talk to a camera about my views.
Yeah,
there's a lot. There's
so much more to it. So this week's a bit of a write-off. This week's been a bit of a chaotic one because I've been up to London. I've been doing something way out of my comfort zone that I've never done before, which is exciting. And hopefully the footage doesn't suck, but we'll see. And then last week was a bit of a write-off. But generally, I will get up at 5:30 a.m. I will have the script for the morning script written the night before, record that, and I have a teleprompter now. So before I was just memorizing the script, and then it was taking 20 minutes to record because I'm not very good at just off the cuff. This is fine because we're having a conversation, but when it's just me and a camera, I'm not very good at having just one main sort of thought process.
That's literally what happened on episode 1 of just
scary and terrifying.
Horrible.
Yeah, but we're bouncing off of each other.
Oh no, this is just a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So it's easier. And I'm very much someone who just bounces off other people anyway. And so I'll get up at 5:30 a.m. and then I sit down and I whack up. Or I've got an Elgato teleprompter, which cost a pretty penny, but hopefully has now been hopefully the reinvestment's made it back. And it takes me about. I like to do things in one take. So I've got the whole script, and I will read the script again beforehand to make sure I've got it sort of in my head, and I'm not getting surprised by anything I've written before. I'm like, why did I write that? And then I'll read that through. Generally takes about 3 minutes if I'm doing it in one take. 9 times out of 10 I get it right, but sometimes it's early in the morning. I've just woken up. I'm like, oh god. So I'll redo it, and then I'll bring it in. I'll edit. Takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to edit now, if that. And then I'll have the next script and I'll record the next one, which will go up at. So obviously that's the other thing is. So 5:30 a.m. I wake up, but the first video will go up at 6:45 to 7 a.m. because generally you're hitting people who are waking up for work or are commuting to work and they're using their phones or they're just looking at their stuff, and that first hour is pivotal. But I know between 6:45 and 9 a.m. between people getting up and traveling to work, probably going to hit 100,000 to 150,000 views. It's
incredible, isn't it?
I mean, you got to figure it's the game. You got to figure it out. But especially if it's something political and it's UK based, people are like, "Oh, what's going on in the country this morning?" Click. Oh my god, and then they also tend to engage a lot more in the morning because people aren't thinking after they first woke up. So they'll write anything in the comments, and you'll be like, why have people written this? But I'm like, they've probably just woken up. It's fine. And then the next video will go up at 11 a.m. And then the rest of the day is just researching, researching and writing, which takes up the next 11. I mean, I go to bed about 11 p.m. So.
And that's a full day.
I mean, I'm not doing that constantly, and I am taking breaks, but it's taken, it's taken now with the level of content that I'm doing. I'm trying to be more in depth. I'm trying to do more graphical stuff. I'm trying to sort of make sure that I'm getting every single fact right, so that people can't be like, "Oh, you missed out this." Okay, right, cool. So I'm researching and writing for a good 8 to 10 hours a day now, which is the bulk of the work. But yeah, three pieces of content a day is the aim at the minute. And starting tomorrow, I'll be back at that. Yeah, it's a lot.
Is that 5 days a week, 7 days a week?
So I'm trying to do Monday to Friday, 3 pieces of content, 7 a.m. ish, 11 a.m. and then generally I'm trying to do a good news piece of content around 4 p.m. Maybe 5 p.m. I can't quite figure out the schedule on that yet. But that's 5 days a week. And then Saturday and Sunday, I can't figure the algorithm out, so I'll post anything at any time.
Oh, really?
Because, boys, the weekend people are just doing whatever they're doing. They've got no strict schedule. They're really, the majority of the population is sticking to, because it's their weekend off. They're doing whatever. So I'll just post 1 or 2. That won't, pardon me, sorry.
Okay.
But I'm also trying to do, content-wise, is do a long-form YouTube video every Saturday. And I'm trying to do that for 7 p.m. because then people are maybe done with the day, and then they'll be like, "Oh, long-form YouTube video." Sat down, maybe they're eating. I don't know.
Do you think time and structure
paramount?
Yeah,
paramount to the success. If I uploaded at any time, people wouldn't
happen.
No, but I also think people, especially on TikTok, come back and they'll be like, "Oh, he's late to this." I mean, I haven't uploaded for 6 days, which is going to kill off my views for a week. But
oh no.
I'm trying new things. I've got to go out there and try different things for a while. So, but I'm going to have people come and go, "Oh, why are you uploading at this time?" And it'll be 7 a.m. again, and I'll be like, "This is the regular time I upload."
Do people take notice and they can they spot?
I don't think they know what time it is, but I think subconsciously they kind of go, "Oh,
where is it?"
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm sat on the toilet on my phone. Like.
Yeah. Well, I've just got out the shower, or like my partner's not woken up yet, and I'm just on my phone doom scrolling. It's that kind of thing. But it's the time is paramount to getting people in and getting a certain amount of views. And if I'm like this is currently my job. I'd need to make the money off the views, so I need to make sure that I'm getting the perfect timing, so that I'm getting the maximum amount of viewership in that time. But it's also making sure that the first video of the day is an important topic that people can engage with. The middle of the day one where people on lunch might not be quite as an engaging topic, but it might be more of a thing where people go, "Oh, I didn't know about that."
Mm-hmm.
And then the end of the day is a piece of good news where people can sort of unwind.
Nice. I see you try to push the good news, because you get a lot of people saying,
"Oh my God,
that all you do is hate," and
which isn't true. It's absolutely not true. I actually talk about a lot of positive stuff, but just unfortunately, people don't want to engage with positive things.
I think you also don't remember the good either.
No, exactly. It's just the world we live in. And the algorithm rewards outrage and rage bait, and you get all of these views where people are rage baiting all the time, and people don't understand what they're being fed. They're just like, "Why are you doing this wrong? Or why are you doing this?" Or like, "Why are you stupid?" And it's like, if you didn't comment, this person wouldn't post that, and then they wouldn't post that. So that's why I try and encourage people to engage less with negative content, because you would see less of it, because people wouldn't have the incentive to post it.
Yeah,
they are making money off of you getting annoyed by them purposely annoying you, and it irritates me.
But it's the game.
It is the game. And sometimes, unfortunately, I do have to feed into that. As much as I hate to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you'd be very open about it. Feel free if you do.
No, I'm more than happy to talk about it.
So you posted saying that through 2024, you made £525.55.
Yep, that was 2024, and that was 2 videos of 2024. That was
those only 2 videos.
Only 2 videos that made money. Yeah.
Was this on this style of content?
No, I was doing photography and videography type of content, and I did one video where I I mean, I was like, fuck, I want to pay off my student loans. And I sat down and I did the maths. I was like, if this video gets, I think it was 37 million views. I was like, if this video gets 37 million views and you'll watch for 1 minute, I would have enough money to pay off my student loans and my mate's student loan. What I didn't factor in for was the fact there's a thing. I don't know how much you know about RPM, but people get different RPM counts per their type of niche and whatnot. And I had quite a high RPM, but I didn't know that at the time because I didn't know how any of this worked. Or especially not the monetization side of it. So that video did really well. That video did like 3 million views or something. And I was like, shit, I'm well, like, even if it's not 37, that's still going to be a good chunk, and I can put that into paying off some of the loan. And then it decimated my RPM. I went from, I think it was 90 cents, which is 90 cents per 1,000 views-ish, to 1 cent. So it destroyed my RPM. And then that meant that all of my videos going forward, because I had no niche, were just making a cent RPM. So, you know, I was
And that's
like,
nothing.
it's nothing.
Like
Yeah. So I was making like for like, I don't know. I think I put one video up in January last year that did, I think it was like 50,000 views. Generally, I'd expect to probably see about 25 quid from that. It made a tenner. It might have been less than that. It might have been like 6 quid. Yeah, and that's when I was like, okay, I need to lean into a niche, build the RPM back up, and then I can make this into a money-making thing.
What does RPM stand for? Do you know?
I know what CPM stands for, which is content per mil or something,
Okay.
or something per mil. RPM will be the same. It'll be revenue per mil probably.
Yeah. Oh,
I
okay.
imagine what it is, or milli or whatever it is. Yeah.
And is it like you said that in certain niches it's like a little bit higher and things like that? Is that just like across the board? Like if you're in politics, it's here. If you're in sport, it's here. Or
yeah, I can talk about that. So political content doesn't really make a lot because
okay.
the way you want to think about it is what would you if you were an advertiser, and I know TikTok you don't necessarily get specific ads, but it still kind of works the same way as YouTube. Is if you were an advertiser, would you want to put your food content on the back of someone being negative about your country? Probably not. Probably wouldn't. So a lot of the adverts that get played before my ads are pretty lowball, like Temu related, like just like
sort of generic
AliExpress
type,
kind of like stuff where it's very cheaply made products then backed on the top of that. So political content doesn't really make a lot of money. I've spoken to other creators who also do the same thing or similar thing, and they have about a similar RPM as me, and mine's about 20 cents.
Okay.
Can be more depending on the video. The other thing that goes into it is viewership. So you want to try and get as many people in one country as possible. So my top 3. So I made a really good example is I made a video about Vietnam last week that they banned unskippable ads. It's illegal in Vietnam
I've seen that,
which is great law.
Yeah.
At first, and that video did like 1 million views, I think, on TikTok, and I think it was about that, something like that. And the viewership was initially in the UK because most of my viewership is in the UK, and then because it's about Vietnam, suddenly it started creeping into Vietnam's For You page. Now, there's not a lot of I don't know what, like, the ad spend as well is important. So a lot of people's money in Vietnam is not considered spendable in the UK. So you know the content's dipping because it was like 90% people in Vietnam are watching that video. So because of that, their money isn't considered as worthwhile essentially to a UK creator. So they dip the ad revenue. But in places where you've got a higher GDP spend, like the UK and the United States and Germany, which are my 3 biggest viewerships, you'll make more money. If I was out purely advertising or making content towards the United States, I'd make a lot more money.
Oh, really?
Because it's bigger.
Scale of them, yeah.
The dollar's worth a lot more. It's as much as people want to hate on it, it's a fairly stable economy. Generally, people over there will spend more money off of ads they see. It's all like it all factors into one thing, money wise. Yeah.
Does that ever entice you? If you're like, oh, if I could just start pushing my content a little bit
So what
further to the USA, I could make more money.
the money doesn't really. So I'm making about £2,000 a month at the minute.
Okay,
Which,
so
I
that's
make.
enough. That's enough to not have a part-time job and try and
I mean,
survive.
I was making, because I was getting paid weekly when I was down working at the restaurant, and I wasn't aware. Couldn't figure out how much I was going to make by the end of the month because I didn't know how many hours I was going to have. I didn't know what was going to be figured out, and I was probably making about 1,700, 1,800 then. I was like, if I'm making just enough more, and more some months on on TikTok, and sometimes sponsorships come in, not as much as I'd like, but that's a difficult thing for me because I slate so many companies that they don't want to work with me, and a lot of companies suck, so I don't want to work with them. But generally, I make about £2,000 a month. I mean, I think my highest paid month in 2025 was £3,000.
Nice.
And that was just because a couple of videos just did really, really well that month.
Do you also get the swing of it on the opposite, where you go, nothing's really peaked, or I've posted late, or like quite a few times this month, and I haven't got the viewership, and
I mean, I've taken 2 weeks off of not posting essentially this month.
Oh, this month's going to be
it's going to be. I'm not in I mean, I think right now it's at about $500 in the Creator Reward Program, which is like £300. So February might be tough.
Super Noodles next month. Yeah.
but on the flip side, I am also doing a branded piece of content for a company, which I think they're paying me £1,000 for that.
Is that the thing that you've mentioned previously that's outside of your comfort zone, where you've been up in London?
No, not at all. No, I was filming. I'll tell you what I was filming because it's fun. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think if you went up to London, it would be possible to drink the entire day for free, and pay not a penny in London all day for any alcohol or non-alcoholic beers or any food?
I'd like to say no.
Well, it is.
It is possible.
As I discovered, the other day. So, because it's crazy.
What? So, mate, take me next time. I'm actually sober right now, so maybe
dry January, maybe, or
yeah.
sober. I don't know, but so, okay, so what had happened was so the week before I'd been in London, like not this Monday, last Monday for the other thing, and I had no money coming back. I was flat broke coming back. I had to sit, and because my coach wasn't till midnight, I had to sit in London for 11 hours on a fiver. I was like, this is impossible. You can't do this. And then I was like, what if I had to next time? So then I got paid on the 15th, and I was like, I'm going to go up to London. And I got a £6 flight from Newquay Airport to London Stansted for £6.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Is that just like a last minute deal, or?
Oh, they just generally, if you fly on like Sundays or something, if you don't take any bags, or like if you get past all of the stuff and it was just £6, and I was like, I'm going to go to London, I'm going to spend the least amount of money I possibly can and come back. And total, we saved in drinks on we filmed on Monday. In total, we saved what would have been £182 worth of in alcohol between two of us on just free drinks.
So
how?
Yeah, or is that?
No, I can talk about it. No, it's fine.
Is it a social status?
No. So
okay.
So I was. So there's an app called Dusk, which I don't know if you ever heard of. An app called Dusk, and you can get one free drink a day at certain venues, which I've used in the past before. You'd be on a night out and you're at a bar and you go, oh, there's a bar next door that does a free espresso martini or a free old fashioned or something. Sometimes it's a free pint, and you go and you scan it, and the bartender scans it, and then they make you a free drink. Don't really. I guess it's just promos that certain bars were offering and stuff.
It gets you through the door, doesn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. And then I guess the incentive is then that, well, if you have a free one, you'll probably spend more at the venue. I felt really bad because we weren't doing that because I was
abusing the system.
So I had an email come through from Lucky Saint about maybe 2 weeks ago, because they're doing a promotion for Dry January, where you can go in, you go on the website, and there's a thing called Thou Shall Go to the Pub, and you can go onto the website and you can choose a pub, any pub that's offering it, put your email in, and they'll send you a redemption for a free pint of Lucky Saint 0.5 to promote Dry January. I was like, this is sick. Okay, but then I was like, well, there's loads of newsletters and bars that do like newsletter stuff. So I went through every cocktail bar and pub in London that I thought might, or like big company and chain, and I made a dummy email, and it's freedrinksvideo@gmail.com. I just made, I connected a free Google number to it, so it's not even any of my own name. I put the name I signed up to it was Ben Dover. I was like, I'm not going to sign any of my actual information up to this, and just make a dummy email. And I went through all of this thing, and I found a list of 37 restaurants and bars and brasseries and like just places that were in like pubs and stuff, that if you sign up to the newsletter, they'd send you a free cocktail or a free pint redemption. So it's just free drinks. And just all day, it was just free drinks. We were just bar hopping for like 6 hours.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We also found a loophole, and I will talk about
7 emails.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, I was like thinking about that, but I was like, if you don't want to give your data away, because I guess I think no one wants
Sign
to
up
be
to the newsletter.
no one wants to be spammed by that. But I guess you could unsubscribe later, but people forget. So, but I was whatever. So the Lucky Saint, and this is true, and you can do this. You can go and do it until February 15th. Which is when they're running the Lucky Saint promo. It says in the terms and conditions that you can only claim 1 free Lucky Saint 0.5 beer, and then you just assume that, well, they'll have knocked your email off the list. Well, I was like, I forgot to sign up another email for my mate to get the free drink. I'll just put the same email into the same pub. And it sent me another code. And I went, hold on, what? And then I just did it like 10 times, and they just send you a new code every single time. So you can limitlessly abuse that, and they'll just send you a free new code every single time.
So you're sat in a bar.
Sat in the bar.
You've already had a pint.
Yep.
Is this a 0 point?
It was 0.5 pint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, but they also did.
so you're not up there getting like rat-arsed?
No.
No?
But I mean, I quite like a 0.5 beer. There's
absolutely. I stocked my fridge up the other day.
I quite like the Proper Job 0.5. That's quite nice.
I really tried it.
It's quite nice. I quite like it. Yeah. But yeah, there's all of that. But and then I went back up and I was like, sorry, I forgot to get one for my mate. But I just signed up the code, and he went, yeah, right. And then I did it a third time, and he went, but I guess it's at the discretion of the staff and the pub.
Yeah.
But then I realised, I was like, what if you did it for another pub that's still in the promotion? So we were in the Well and Boot in Paddington, and then we went to really nice bar. And then we went down to where was it? The Coach and Horses, which was like 200 feet away, if that. And I signed up, and they sent me another code, and I was like, sorry, are you running the promotion for the Lucky Saint? Yeah, we are. Click, scan, free pint. So I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to put that video up, and then Lucky Saint will be like, maybe we should fix this. But can you imagine looking at that data and then going, why has someone suddenly redeemed like 10 pints of this stuff in the same bar? I don't know how many people know that promotion's running.
Well, I'd never heard of it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't very great.
Where do the bars down here stock
Yeah,
or do the promotion? I'd love a free pint.
I'd have to look. I was only looking in the London area at the time.
And is that why you specifically went up to London for?
Well, London
to like shoot. I mean, sure, you can do other bits as well.
Yeah.
Was that the main
was
purpose?
main purpose.
£6 flight.
£6 flight.
3 0 beers all day.
And a free Harvester meal. If you sign up to Harvester, they gave you a free side of chips. The Harvester app, you just get a free side of chips. And I was like, that's just, and it was a pretty big bowl as well. Do that. You sign. I think I had. In fact, I'll show you. I'll show you on my phone. Hold on. I downloaded. So I had newsletters, and then I set up a thing. So it's just free drinks, and it's just all these apps. Just sign up to.
That's incredible.
For the camera.
That's so funny. It's similar to like on your birthday, loads of places give stuff away. So if you spent your whole birthday just going from like place to place to place, you'll get like a free drink, a free piece of cake, a free burger, or like, and you could just, if you spent your birthday and dedicated, you'd be like full, probably half cut as well.
I mean, what I kind of also realized was that if you were really dedicated to it and you didn't want to just make a dummy email and you just want to use your email or any emails you have, you could probably do that so many days in a row, because you could just go back in the next day, and I assume the same staff probably wouldn't be on.
No.
Hard to say. I mean, it's hospitality, so people do work endless days, but if you go at the right time, probably the morning staff probably won't know. Redeem. Yeah. So I had, I think I clocked it up, and it was like 182 quid's worth of on pints saved, because I also took a photo of how much the pint would have cost at each pub.
Oh.
So I can compare it and the highest pint was £8.20 for a pint of Peroni. And I was like, who's paying £8.20 for a pint of Peroni?
London prices.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is also why I chose London, because London is predominantly the most expensive area to get pints in. Yeah, that was. Yeah, and I'm hoping that video will do well.
Well, it sounds interesting.
But
I'm intrigued already.
I'm also going to do that on a separate channel. That's the other thing now. It's like I've got I've got another account for alcohol and food content now. Because bring back to the RPM point is that certain niches of content make more money. So like I was saying, the political content doesn't make a lot. But I know people who are in food content and fashion content, and because it's such a safe, like you could stick an ad on that from any kind of brand, and they don't really care about it because it's just so safe. Their RPM's like upwards of $1 sometimes. You know, they're making. There's a lot of food reviewers out there who I'm not a big fan of, but there's a lot of food reviewers out there who are not only making bank off of their TikToks, but they're also not disclosing ads when they get partnerships. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people out there making hundreds of thousands off of just food content. Yeah, so now I'm going to do some food content.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you've got the drive, you've got the system, you've got the equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got everything like in place. Why not? Especially alongside this as well. Maybe this side of things calms down a little bit, and this. But then as like money and stuff goes.
Well, what I want to do is because if the food content does a little bit better and that's a supplementary income on the side, then I want to be able to pay people to do the researching and the writing for me. Maybe not all the writing, but because I quite enjoy that. But the researching especially is just so draining. You
can cut 8 hours of your day out.
It's just it's just workflow. It's just like, how do you efficiency. I'm big about efficiency.
And you're also big on like calling yourself back out. I seen a video the other day.
Oh God.
I can't quite recall what the video was.
Oh yeah, I know what it was. Yeah.
And then you had a lot of people comment saying that it was, I do know what it was. It was about
the housing
development, and like the document was wrong, and like, this is what's like pulling people out of like not being able to live. And then somebody else had like reached out to you and like, there's actually like, you're actually wrong about this. And you then made another video calling yourself out, being like, I messed up. Did you delete that original video?
So what happened for that was, so I put the video up. I should probably give some I kind of give some background in the explanation, but so I get a lot of journalists who email me with stuff where they'll be like, we don't really want to touch upon this, or there's pardon me, quick, and they'll be like, oh, we've put an article out there about this particular piece that we don't think is getting enough traction. Could you cover it? 9 times out of 10, I just won't be like that, because in my head I'm always going, there's some other angle here there's a reason something's not picked up traction, because there's probably another angle to it that people don't want to see. And anyway, this journalist was like, oh, talk about I think it was something along the lines of there'd been a housing development that had been built in late 2024, and the developer had finished everything, and all these residents had paid for the flats and paid deposits, were paying mortgages and stuff on it, but couldn't move in because these signs, these fire signage or something, were 2 millimeters too small. And I was like, that's just replace the signs. But the regulator, so they replaced the signs immediately, and then the regulator took 14 months to then sign it off again. That's where I was like, how are you going to stop people from moving in for 14 months? Turns out there were some other issues with the flat, but they just hadn't disclosed that. It wasn't a regulator issue, because the regulator, turns out, is really backlogged and underfunded. The developers have all this money, and they just lobby the politicians to just kind of ignore the regulation stuff, so they can just make fuck tons of money on the buildings. Hence why rent costs so much and shit. So I made that video and I put it up, and then I got loads of comments being like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I admittedly got quite defensive in the comments. I was like, I don't think I am wrong, but and then this other creator she specialized, Danica Priest, check her out, specializes in this fantastic, like all of the building construction stuff. And she puts this video up, and everyone in the comments was like, yeah, he was wrong. I hate this guy. And he's always wrong about this stuff. And I'm like, 9 times out of 10, I'm not wrong. But, I do a lot of time looking into these things. I just missed some stuff, which sucks. And then she put the video out, and I was at the pub, and I saw it, and I went, fuck it, I'll delete it. And I was at the pub, and I reached out and said, I've just deleted the stuff. I've just seen your video. Fantastic video. When I'm back, I'll reach out to you, and if we can get on a call. And we did the next day, and I had a call with her for about an hour, and she was explaining everything to me, and I was asking her questions and trying to get all my facts right. And then I was away for New Year's. I came back, made the video. I was like, look, got it all wrong. I'm not afraid to be wrong. I'm going to get things wrong. I'm one person trying to spend all this time doing these things, but I'm going to miss things. It sucks. No one likes getting stuff wrong. No one especially likes going, hello, I got it wrong. But thankfully, a lot of people are like, well, we appreciate you calling yourself out and holding the accountability and holding myself to a higher standard, because it's what I want. I want to be able to, get the right information and not have people spreading misinformation. And if I'm spreading misinformation, people then in turn are spreading my misinformation, and that just makes me look bad. And it makes them look bad as well, because then someone's going to go, well, you got that wrong, and they're going to start questioning me as a source. So it all just feeds into one thing.
Yeah, I think it definitely holds yourself to a higher standard of you being able to just call yourself out and just admit when you're wrong. I think human error is human error.
Yeah, definitely.
You can do as much research as you clearly do, and things will just go wrong. But I think that the key point to take from that is it's how you react. It's the same even with the restaurant. We can put so many things in place for it to run as smoothly as it can. Something is going to go wrong. Yeah, I can't stop. It will happen, and it's just unfortunate. But it's how I deal with it on the back end of if I get defensive and say your food wasn't cold, just stop lying to me, or whatever.
Well, it's just detaching yourself from having an ego about it, I think.
Yeah, and it's just look, I'm really sorry. Maybe here's a voucher, or here's something, or we can really cook it, or something. Don't give him a free drink. Jesus Christ. So we spoke about one of your London trips.
Yes.
You've also had another London trip very recently.
Yeah, that was fun.
So you recently went to 10 Downing Street.
Yes, I did.
And you also said that you nearly declined it as well.
Yes, I did. Nearly. Very nearly.
So can we talk a little bit
about
that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. How do you want to know? Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the declining part of things. You've been, first of all, how did they reach out to you? How did you get invited to 10 Downing Street?
I had an email come in. So I check my emails every day. But I also really always check my junk folder. I checked my junk folder, and it said, and the top line, the headline was subject was number 10 X Thomas Pearson, and it was in the junk folder. So I would have missed it had I not checked it that day. And it was like, "Hi Thomas, and it was the opening line was, I'm so and so. I won't name the civil servant's name, but so and so. We run." Keir Starmer and number 10 social media team. I'm thinking, yeah, fuck off. Yeah, this isn't real. This is some bullshit that someone sent. And then I clicked the drop down, looked at the email, and saw where the email address came from. I went, actually, that could be real. And then I went onto LinkedIn and I checked all what the official domains are. I was like, oh, this is real. And I shat myself. I was like, oh, the government have me on a watch list. I was like, this is scary. And then it said, hey, we have an opportunity coming up on the 12th of January. Can we get on a call to discuss some more details? I'm thinking, an opportunity. Well, if it was an opportunity, if it was something you wanted to do as a video or work on a video partnership, you wouldn't put it up as an opportunity. This is going to be an invite to number 10. And and then I rang someone, and I was like, who's been to 10 Downing Street, and I was like, when you were invited, what does yours come? He said, oh, it came up as an opportunity. And I went, I'm about to get invited to number 10. So I was thinking about it. I was like, how much damage will this do to me career-wise if I then... Because I slate the Labour government constantly. How much damage is this going to do to me as a brand? Because my name is my brand at this point. And then my credibility. Are people going to go, oh, he's sold out? I really was thinking about it. And also, I don't really do fancy receptions very well. I was going to have to go in a suit. I've used my suit once for a wedding. I just don't really do smart dress. I don't enjoy, I knew I was going to be surrounded by posh pricks who I just didn't really want to speak to. But then I was also like, I bet there's going to be a bunch of people there who are campaigners and people I really want to speak to and collaborate with on other stuff. And it's also an opportunity that not many people get. And I was like, I've always said, I'll always do something once. I'll always say yes to opportunities when they come to me. Saying no would be really stupid. And then we got on a call and they went through the details of sort of what it'd be like. And I was, for the next 4 days, shitting myself. Like,
I can imagine. What is it?
What do you do? Like, what am I going in for?
Did Sorry.
Go on.
So after the call, did they give you context of like what it was? And
Yeah, so it was a
so was
reception.
it like a mysterious kind of like? Are they
No, they did say in the email sort of what it would be regarding, but they didn't say specifically what it was. So it was a reception to celebrate the passing of the Employment Rights Bill 2025, which was giving more rights to workers. I'm sure you, as a business owner, have probably seen the the bill. Yeah. I think it's a great bill. It's one of the more positive things that this government's done. I had my problems with it, and I was not afraid to go in there and also state what my problems were with it to government ministers, and get quite dismissed. But hey, I wasn't expecting. I don't think they were expecting people to come in and sort of challenge them on it. But I figured I'd be doing myself a disservice spending all these times and months criticizing people online if I then can't put my money where my mouth is and then go in and also confront them about it, which I did. I did get dismissed by some people, and there were some journalists in that room as well who, when I said my name, said to my face, "I can't be in this conversation with you," and walked away.
Oh, really?
There was also and I can't name names, and I don't want to name names just because I think it's unfair to the people. But there were people in that room who I tried to get in a conversation with 3 times, and every time I got into the circle with them, they walked away. And after the 3rd time, I went, the only common denominator in this circle is me. And I sort of clocked, this person knows who I am. This person, because I was trying to get in a conversation with that person to ask them something. Because I have criticized this person online. So I think that it was.
Was this is this like somebody in the?
I'm not going to say.
No,
just
okay.
I think it's not worth.
Is it like an online person or somebody in the government?
Someone in the government.
Okay.
Someone within the government circle.
Yeah,
is
cool.
the best way to put it. It was not. I was the only other creator there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was what I was confused about, because there were other people with. So the way that it worked was, you got in there, and I was the first person in the queue, which was terrifying, fucking terrifying. And you walk through like this building, and they've got like an airport scanner. So I had to take my belt off. I had to take all my tech out. Everything went through. Nothing beeped, so I was fine. But people behind me had suitcases and stuff, because I guess they'd just come from work or something, or they just got up there for this invitation. So I was on Downing Street on my own for like 5 minutes, just on my own, stood in front of this building. I could see people peeking through the flat windows and the curtains, looking at me, looking at the door. I was thinking, this is terrifying. It was really eerie. It was real. And the press den behind was empty. Very strange experience. And then the door opened and we went in, and they stripped your tech of you. Now, when I said that in the video, I think people thought that when I went through the airport scanner, my tech had been taken away. Not the case. I had to turn my phone off, take my headphones out, take my wallet out, and whatever. I had my watch on, and they had like I don't know how to explain it. Like, in IKEA, they've got those Kallaxes that are they're just big shelves, but they're like squares.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like there were 2 of these wooden ones either side, and they had small pockets in them, and they were just numbered, and you chose any one you want, and you turned your phone off, and you put your tech in. Willingly. I voluntarily did that. So no one took my phone, no one manhandled my phone, no one had any opportunity to bug my phone, which loads of people were like, "Oh, your phone's been bugged, change your clothes, change this, you've been poisoned." I'm like, I promise, as much as I'm skeptical of any kind of espionage, my phone has not been bugged. Also, if anyone thinks that they were plugging anything in, this thing's beat up as well, you can see that. But that's waterlogged. I can't charge my phone via the port. It only wirelessly charges. So there's no way they were getting anything off my phone. I was not spied on. And then we went upstairs and they offered us a glass of champagne, and sort of milling around for a bit, talking to people. And then Keir Starmer, everyone quiet, and there's a lectern, and Keir Starmer does a speech, which was terrifying because I'm now opposite the man I've been slagging off for 8 months. You do what you do. And then got to speak to a bunch of government ministers, I got to speak to Liz Kendall, who's the the Secretary for Science and Technology. And she was like, "Oh, I've seen some of your work." And I went, "Thank you. That's not terrifying at all." Because she's the arbiter of the Online Safety Act, which is something I complain about a lot. So to get in a conversation with her and talk to her was really interesting. She clearly had no interest in what I had to say whatsoever.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was... And I was like, well, I was going to say it anyway, and it was worth, if I didn't say anything, I've missed a shot there.
Yeah.
I spoke to, I can't remember her name, the education secretary, who also had no interest in what I was saying. And I was kind of glazing her. I said, "You're doing a really good job on the education bills right now." She was like, "Okay, I've got to move on now." Very
It's like a robot.
very strange conversation. Then tried to get in a conversation with another person in the government. Couldn't get in a conversation with him, him. Shit. And then I spoke to a couple other people who work for like non-profits and other charities, and people that I have now got back in contact with. I walked away with like 30 business cards from people in. It was a networking night, really.
Yeah.
But I got to air out some of my grievances about certain things, and some of the emails I got after the fact from an Instagram requests from people who met me that night had gone, "We really liked the fact that you just came in there not willing to compromise and just go in, and if you had a problem with something, you aired it out, but also celebrated the fact that there were good things that happened in that room that night." But yeah, weird experience. And then I left and I went to the pub and I rang my mate and I went, "What the fuck?"
So odd, yeah.
Really, really odd
experience.
Yeah. And it's been strange because now that's the peak of like anything. You get invited to the government, built like the Prime Minister's flat. Very weird sort of thing to do. And then the last week I've sort of been thinking, but now what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, now what? So now I'm trying to scale it back down. I'm trying to scale it back to basics and be a little more normal and a bit less, not less critical, but just not doing as much for a week while I try and figure out what the hell to do.
Big step, isn't it?
I think that's going from pretty much nothing. Like, I wasn't doing this content. I started this content in June. This time to now be with it, literally within 6 months, 7 months, 6 7.
Oh no. He's done it.
Oh, I didn't even mean to. Yeah, to do that, and then now it's like, now what? Do you want me to go to the White House?
Yeah.
Tell Trump he's a prick? I don't know.
How does it feel for you that, like, I know you mentioned it in a video before,
sure.
but that you're like kind of on their radar, and then also this person that you don't want to kind of give information about. Do you have an inkling of like why he like wouldn't even get into conversation with you, or even just standing in the same circle as you?
So, well, two things. So, when I'd been on the call with the civil servants and what you got to remember is, and I try and tell this to people, is that, like, yes, you've got a government that you might not like, but the people who are working around like the Secret Service, like the MI5 and the civil servants and the Secret Services are unbiased. Yes, they work for the government, but they don't have any bias, and they are just doing their job. Mm-hmm. So they might love you or hate you. They can't tell you they do. Same with the government. So they are just doing their job, and you've got to be as respectful to that as possible. A lot of people would be like, well, they're civil servants. They're working for the government. They've chosen to do that. Of course, they should get some hate. And I'm like, but they are still just doing their job. I can't fault them for trying to do a salary and try and better the country, however that is. But when I was on the call with the civil servant, she was like, "Oh yeah, we're a big fan of your content in this office. We've been watching for about 3 months." And then I sort of went, "Ooh, you've been watching for 3 months. Ooh, that's
all the good stuff as well."
Yeah. I was like, that's really like the last 3 months have really been the peak. So you really, but I really want to be like, so which video was it? Which video put me on the radar?
There would have been one, wouldn't there? There is something that they've gone, who's this guy?
Yeah. And then
just all of a sudden
followed up. Yeah.
We've got 3 months of it now.
And I would really like to know what that was. I don't think I'll ever know.
Have you looked back 3 months ago, whatever month that was? Was there like a big video?
There was around
specific government base
around the September, October mark, where like all of the Online Safety Act stuff was happening, and all of the services were getting blocked. A lot of those were, we're hitting 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, sometimes 5 million consecutively. And I was thinking, someone's probably seen one of those, and then just that's probably what's done it. But really hard to say, because it could have been something really good that they saw, and then
or went downhill from there.
exactly. So it feels weird, and I've kind of been a little careful this week. It's also because it's kind of got to me a little bit in my head.
Oh, really?
Like, what do I continue to slag them off? Do I just continue as normal? Like now everyone, like I've also got the audience now knows that I've been there. So if I start doing things that are saying things that are more positive, they're going to think I've chilled out. But if I do more negative stuff, it might burn the bridges that I've made with other charities and non-profits in there. So I'm just trying to figure out the line.
It's a bit of a limbo mode at the minute.
A little bit. This month I think I said to you on text, I've just kind of written this week off, just taking this as a week to figure out new things. What was the second question you asked? You asked the second one. You said something else.
What was your...
the person.
The person, yeah. What do you think? Why did this happen?
Do
you have an inkling?
Yeah, he definitely... No, because this person put something out into the sphere online that I thought was... I think people will be able to read between the lines and get what I'm trying to say. I just don't want to name it and get blasted. But I'll say it, yeah. He put a tweet out following something, and then I was like, this is just wrong. You can't, as a government person, you can't be saying this kind of stuff as like someone in the government circle. And I was trying to get in the conversation with him, and he definitely knows, because that video was like a 5 million view video when I was just going in on that person. So I think either someone told him, don't get in a conversation with him, because I was going to bring it up. I was going to be like, why did you call people pedophiles? Oh, fuck it, I'll say it.
Yeah,
No, I'm done.
Texas.
Basically, Peter Kyle, who is the who was the Secretary for Science and Technology, put a tweet out after the Online Safety Act got implemented and said, and the tweet was, if you're against the Online Safety Act in any form, you are a paedophile. And it was like, you can't say that. You just can't say that. Like, you just can't, like... And then it got into this whole, like, you just can't. Like, how can you be in the government circle and go, yeah, you're a predator? Like, to random people... And
online as well, as a tweet.
Yeah, and my argument was, sure, if it was people defending child porn stuff, I'd be like, yeah, I fucking agree. But the fact that I now can't get onto my therapy website, does that make me a predator? I don't think so, And that's why I was like, this is someone who clearly doesn't understand the technology that he's implemented. And he's like, oh, you must be a paedophile because you're defending or against it. And I was just going to get in a conversation and be like, so why did you call everyone a paedophile? It's what I was 100% just I was going to do that. And so I think either somebody went, don't get into a conversation with him, or he knows.
He's seen the videos. He knows what was coming.
Did
he retract the tweet, or is it still up there?
I think I don't use Twitter anymore. I got off Twitter about... I used to be a big tweet. I used to bang tweets.
Really?
I was a big
100 a day type thing.
No. I mean like tweets with bang likes. Like I used to. I was a bit big Twitter person. And then 2024, early 2024, I got off of it because one of my content associates got outed for being a bad person, and like someone I used to be friendly with, content creator, got outed for being a bad person, is the nicest way I'll put it. And then got cancelled, and then associatively, I was like,
you got like linked.
I don't want anything to do with this. Your fan base is insane. Everyone's insane. So I just got off Twitter. So I haven't used it properly in like 2 years. But yeah, I think the tweet's still up. I believe the tweet is still. Yeah, Twitter's a cesspool. Don't use Twitter.
Don't use Twitter.
Don't use Twitter. It's a cesspool now. Like after Elon Musk boy, it's just people. I mean, you've seen the Grok stuff. Like,
don't you know? Oh,
about
the AI,
the bikini stuff, and like
everyone's making like you can take a photo of somebody and
like take off their clothes. Yeah, and it's like, dude,
it is odd.
What?
Twitter is like a,
but it's just filled with those kind of people now because they just feel kind of. I'm sure there's normal people still on it, but it's mostly filled with just wrong. So I'm like, I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I mean, I have a Twitter account, but I just
gone now.
Yeah. No, it's still up. I'm sure people could go back and find me making some weird tweets when I was 15, but it's like nothing bad, nothing to this level. So, yeah,
incredible. How do you feel the state of the UK is in at the moment? What's your stance on that? Also, again, like I said at the beginning, I have no idea.
That's fine. I actually don't think it's as bad as people make out. I'm sort of like, hey, these bad things are happening in vacuums, but I overall don't think it's as bad as it could be. You know, I think we'd be in a much worse situation. We're not. Look at the US, like, and all the stuff that's going on with Trump, and you know they've got. You know, they've got people breaking down people's homes, running into businesses, pulling people out of work in the homes, shooting people in the head. Like they've just got the whole like Gestapo going on right now, where they're just and it's unchecked, and there's just nothing going on. It's crazy. We don't have that. You know, I don't have. People are like, oh, you'll get arrested for a tweet. I still can't find an example of that where anyone's actually been arrested for a tweet. People have been cautioned for hate speech online. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of different. You know, you're threatened to kill a minority because they're a minority. Like, it's a bit different from being arrested for it. It's not like me going, oh yeah, my mate loves to shove things up his arse. Like, it's not like you know, not getting done for banter or anything. So I actually don't think it's that bad. It just sucks that I think there's, you know, like, I'm working with a civil liberties group this week or next week on some stuff where the government are deploying facial recognition cameras across the UK in vans, and no one will know about it. Like, they're just going to do it, and it'll just be your regular CCTV camera on the street, but it's just tracking your face now, and it's all feeding into a database. And they're just doing it. They're just running it through.
Oh, is this happening?
It's happening right now. Yeah, they've just run it through as on test, and I think they put CCTV camera vans in Croydon and Liverpool, and I don't think there's, like they said, they'd have stats by now and say whether it's lowered crime or not. I haven't seen. There might be an article that's come out. I don't know, but I need to look more into that. But one of the big things is that they've uploaded 12 million children's faces under the age of 12 onto that, or 12 and under onto that data set, unchecked. No one's consented to that. Like, they're just like, well, if you're outside, you're outside. Your face is on the facial recognition. We can do you in. There's a guy suing There's a high court case going on right now for a mistaken identity case where this guy was caught shoplifting. He was at home the whole time, and it was just the facial recognition just got it wrong. Yeah, and it's
That's scary.
very scary.
Yeah,
and like, so stuff like that is scary, and people don't know about it. And it's sort of, I'm just concerned that you know, you suddenly we're just slowly going stuff, and like, let's say you're going down the street and you've been at work and you look like any other lad, you know, like someone's robbed Asda.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly you're getting knocked on the door for where were you?
Or even if I wasn't outside, I now don't have facial recognition to prove that I was at home.
Well, exactly.
So,
oh yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? So, because I'm not out there on the street, if I was walking down the street, I could say, why don't you check how I cross the street?
Yeah, exactly. Or you could go to the bit. Yeah, exactly. So it's difficult, but there's no framework for that, and you know, the government didn't put anything in their manifesto about that, so they're just doing it unprompted. And everyone's like, why? Like, no, who's asking for that? I don't know. But then you have people saying, oh, well, it'll prevent crime. I'm like, well, when you give me the statistics to prove that, I'll believe you. But until then, I can't. What concerns me is that they're putting just people on a database without their, like, you can't opt out.
You know how often like databases gets hacked into and leaked, and
that's my biggest
information gets leaked. And
concern is
how many thousand children you just said is.
Yeah,
it's quite scary, isn't it?
I think my biggest issue with the UK in sort of being in disarray is that, you know, I mean, look at Nostell. Like, you know, we're talking about this is the high street. You know, where's the funding from the councils to put some money back into the council, you know, into the high street and make this a more appealing place to be and come and work. You know, I mean, the amount of shops that are boarded up down there are just
it's really sad.
It's
isn't it?
sad. It's really sad. And I'm like, so who should it be down to deal with that? Would you rather put billions into these facial recognition cameras going up on the street, or would you rather put some money into community and actually like making places
thrive
again?
Yeah,
you know,
I used to come in as a kid, and it used to be like fun. There used to be stuff to do, and like it used to be like a fun activity to do on the weekend. Mum bring us into town. I've got kids now, my own. I've got 3 girls, and like there's nothing. One, there's nothing to do. 2, it's not that nice. Like, it's not nice to like walk through, and if there are people drinking and swearing and stuff like that, it don't happen all the time. Don't get me wrong.
No.
All towns are the same, But you can't bet on it, can you?
There's
I will still bring them to town. Don't get me wrong.
No, of
like,
course,
if we
no,
want to
no.
go to the cinema, we'll go to the cinema and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
But outside
Shy
of
away
that,
from
where
it,
would
but, like,
you
Yeah,
go?
yeah. But like
you know.
this used to be like a regular weekend kind of thing for me as a
course it
kid,
was,
and
yeah.
it's gone now, and,
Yeah.
and it's really sad. But we are trying to bring it back
Yeah,
up.
and that's why you're doing it.
Yeah, and we're working with
Bang
other
up job.
companies. Thank you very much. Working with other companies like food companies and stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to just sort of like work together and see if there's anything that we can bang our heads together. Try and get the
Mm.
town just doing something.
I might talk to you outside of this because I've got a few ideas that
Oh, amazing.
I've been brainstorming and
Yeah.
talking to some brands to try and get some stuff going on, which might help. But yeah, but stuff like it's just I just wish there was more allocated money into community things. A big thing I talk about is online rights and digital privacy, and they're floating a under 16 social media ban. That might be something you agree with. I do semi-agree with it, but the only issue is that then where do the kids go? Because there's no money into spaces for kids to thrive. There's constant no loitering around for where do the kids go if they're not online?
Mm-hmm.
There's no spaces for that. And that's why I'm always a bit like, yes, it's okay if you want to ban places, if you want to ban social media because you think it's a bad thing, but where are you going to migrate them to? Are they going to get lonelier, sadder because of that? Probably. And that's my biggest issue with this government is trying to, they seem like they want to limit everybody, but they don't want to have a solution for where those people should then find other solutions.
Mm-hmm. It's just like put the first thing in place, but then not thinking.
About the aftermath, and then everyone gets more miserable, and everyone's sat inside miserably because, let's be honest, this country's weather is not the best.
Yeah.
It's not like we can go out. People can go outside and play all the time. A lot of the skate parks I think there was a skate park that opened up there, was it, or got closed? I don't know. Wasn't there a skate park that they were building next to the park near the library for a while? I swear they were.
And potentially there is a skate park. There's basketball courts. There's like a couple of like playgrounds and stuff.
I've not been up there for a while, so I can't.
Take the kids up there sometimes.
But it's around there. I'm like, implement more of those spaces. Probably be good for it.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for the youth as well to like get outside,
exactly,
and, touch grass
100%.
a little bit. Do you know
But the amount of people that miserable, and I don't want to demonize certain demographics, but the amount of miserable boomers that I see that are like, why are the kids outside on my street, outside my house, playing? I'm like, but then you complain about them being online. So, which one is it? Which one do you want? Pick one. And then in that case, we should invest in youth spaces.
Yeah,
and that's sort of where I'm at with it. Is if you want to ban the online, then we need to put money into community spaces, and there aren't enough community spaces, and that is the biggest problem with this country is there isn't enough community space, like to all come together and do stuff. And that's sort of that's that. So I don't think the country is in a bad spot. Could be in a much worse spot, but it could also be in a much better spot.
Yeah,
I think it's just sort of right now, sort of.
Yeah, just coasting along.
Yeah. And which is not what you want to see. I want to see things thrive. I want to see this town thrive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I believe it can as well.
I believe it can. I believe if we all put our heads together a bit, just
we'll definitely speak after this.
Yeah, 100%.
Before we do wrap this up, is there anything that you want to add to this, or are there any points that we haven't quite covered?
No, I've got nothing big on my mind. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
I was going to say, if people do want to find you, where can they find you? What are your like TikTok, Instagram handles, YouTube channels?
Everything is at Thomas R. Pearson because I can't get just Thomas Pearson because someone out there stole all those channels many years ago. Not giving away my middle name yet. Maybe 100,000 subscribers. Middle name reveal. But just over there, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm posting on Blue Sky soon. Mastodon. Going to start posting on Twitter again, I think. Monetize those.
Bring
those back. What else? What else have we got?
We've got Patreon written down.
Yes, I have a Patreon. It's only for people who really sort of hardcore wanna. I've got some behind the scenes stuff there. Scripts that didn't make it. I put up there things that I didn't think were worthwhile, but I've got little tiers there. So if you really want to support me, you can go and check. You can go and I think it's like £3 a month. You can go and pay for that, but you don't have to.
Incredible. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. It's been an amazing episode. If you do like all of this, please like, comment, subscribe. We're going to try and blow this channel up. We want to try and expand this, get some cool guests on. Thank you very much for listening. That's me. Peace.
Peace.